Walking into a social gathering feels like entering a foreign country where everyone else knows the customs, but you miss the orientation. For the Sigma male, social settings aren't naturally comfortable territories. They're complex puzzles where the rules seem arbitrary and the rewards unclear. While your independent nature serves you well in most areas of life, it can create unexpected blind spots when navigating group dynamics. The truth is, even the most self-sufficient man can undermine his own interests through simple social miscalculations that stem directly from his core strengths. Today we're examining the 8 common mistakes Sigma males make in social settings, not to make you more social, but to help you navigate these situations with the same strategic intelligence you apply to everything else in your life. 1. The misinterpretation of silence as disinterest. Your comfortable silence often speaks louder than you intend. While you're simply observing or processing information, others frequently interpret your quiet demeanor as judgment, boredom, or outright rejection. This creates an invisible barrier that prevents people from approaching you, even when you're open to connection. The psychology behind this is simple. Most people rely on social feedback to feel secure in interactions. When they don't receive this feedback from you, they assume the worst. The solution isn't to become the life of the party, but to master small social signals that indicate engagement. A simple nod when someone makes eye contact, an occasional thoughtful question, or even just positioning your body toward the conversation can dramatically change how others perceive your presence. These minor adjustments require minimal energy, but prevent the social misreadings that leave you isolated in crowded rooms. Remember that in social settings, perception often matters more than intention. 2. Underestimating the importance of social reciprocity. In your world, favors and information are given freely when deserved, but social settings operate on different economics. People remember who asked about their kids, who remembered their birthday, who showed interest in their projects. The Sigma male often overlooks these small social investments, not from selfishness, but from genuinely not recognizing their importance in building relational capital. This creates a situation where you might be willing to help others substantially when it matters, but they never approach you because you haven't established the basic social framework that makes people comfortable asking. The correction involves viewing social reciprocity not as empty politeness, but as strategic relationship banking. Remembering one key detail about someone's life and asking about it next time you see them creates more social capital than hours of superficial conversation. This isn't about manipulation. It's about speaking the native language of social dynamics that governs human connections. 3. The failure to manage resting facial expression. Your neutral face might feel perfectly calm to you, but to others it often reads as stern, disapproving, or angry. This isn't about your actual feelings. It's about the gap between your internal state and how others interpret your external presentation. Many Sigma males remain unaware of this disconnect until they hear surprising comments like, "I thought you hated me when we first met," or "You always look so serious." The biological reality is that humans are wired to read facial expressions for threat assessment, and a neutral face often registers as mildly threatening in social contexts. The fix requires developing social awareness, periodically checking your expression and making minor adjustments. Softening your eyes, occasionally smiling at appropriate moments, or simply raising your eyebrows slightly can transform how approachable you appear without changing your fundamental nature. Think of it as adjusting your social thermostat to a temperature where others feel comfortable engaging. 4. Over-reliance on logical debate in social contexts. When someone makes an emotional statement or shares a personal opinion, your instinct might be to analyze its logical consistency. While this approach works brilliantly in professional settings, it often backfires socially. People share opinions to feel heard and connected, not to have them dissected. The Sigma male's precision with truth can accidentally alienate potential allies who interpret logical correction as personal rejection. This happens because most people form emotional connections to their beliefs, and challenging those beliefs feels like challenging them personally. The adjustment involves recognizing that social conversations serve different purposes than problem-solving sessions. Sometimes listening and acknowledging is more valuable than being right. Save your logical precision for situations where accuracy matters, and practice simply understanding others' perspectives in social settings. You can maintain your intellectual standards while choosing when to apply them strategically. 5. Misjudging the value of small talk. You see small talk as pointless noise, but it serves an important social function. It's the verbal equivalent of dogs sniffing each other, a low-risk way to assess comfort and compatibility. By refusing to participate in this social ritual, you inadvertently signal that you're not interested in connecting at all. This creates unnecessary social friction and makes it harder to form the meaningful connections you might actually want. The solution isn't to endure hours of meaningless chatter, but to reframe small talk as social reconnaissance. Instead of discussing weather, ask people what they're passionate about or what interesting projects they're working on. This transforms empty conversation into genuine discovery while still serving the social purpose of establishing rapport. You maintain your integrity while participating in necessary social protocols that open doors to more substantial interactions later. 6. The assumption that competence speaks for itself. In your professional life, quality work should be its own reward. In social settings, this principle doesn't always hold. People can't appreciate qualities they never see, and social intelligence involves making your competence visible in ways that don't feel like bragging. The Sigma male often remains quietly capable in corners, while more socially skilled but less capable individuals claim credit and opportunities. This isn't about fairness. It's about understanding how human attention works in group settings. The correction involves learning the art of subtle signaling, mentioning relevant accomplishments when they naturally fit the conversation, or demonstrating competence through well-timed contributions rather than waiting to be discovered. This isn't about becoming arrogant. It's about ensuring your actual value gets recognized so you can have greater impact and influence when it matters. 7. Neglecting the power of social proof. Humans are tribal creatures who use social cues to determine value and safety. When you consistently appear alone or avoid group activities, people make unconscious assumptions about your social status and likability. The Sigma male often dismisses this reality as primitive groupthink, but ignoring it comes at a cost. People are naturally cautious about approaching someone who appears completely disconnected from social networks, not because they think less of you, but because they're uncertain how to bridge the gap. Strategic social proof doesn't require becoming popular. It simply means occasionally being seen with respected individuals, participating in select group activities that align with your interests, or having a few strong alliances that demonstrate your ability to connect when you choose to. These visible connections serve as social credentials that make others more open to engaging with you. 8. The all-or-nothing approach to social energy. Many Sigma males either avoid social situations entirely or force themselves to endure them until completely drained. This binary approach misses the middle ground of strategic social engagement that could serve their long-term interests. The solution involves developing sophisticated social energy management, setting clear time limits for yourself, taking brief solitude breaks during events, choosing activities that align with your natural strengths, and having exit strategies prepared in advance. Arrive early when crowds are smaller. Position yourself near exits for psychological comfort. Focus on quality over quantity in conversations, and give yourself permission to leave when your energy depletes. This controlled approach prevents the social burnout that reinforces negative associations with group settings. Most importantly, recognize that social skills are just that, skills that can be developed and managed like any other capability, rather than inherent traits you either have or lack. Understanding these common mistakes doesn't mean you need to transform into a social butterfly or compromise your core independence. The goal is strategic social competence, maintaining your essential nature while developing just enough social intelligence to navigate group settings effectively when necessary. By addressing these specific blind spots, you can participate in social situations on your own terms, preserving your energy while avoiding the unintended consequences that sometimes accompany your natural approach to social dynamics. Remember that social intelligence isn't about becoming someone you're not, but about adding tools to your arsenal that allow you to operate effectively across different environments without sacrificing your fundamental Sigma principles. To understand more about the psychological foundations that shape these social patterns, I recommend watching our in-depth analysis. 7 ways the Sigma male brain is wired differently.